Hi, I'm back with a weekly energy reading. I'm try to do like I said the all signs advice. So I might pause in between whatever. So if y'all see pause in between, whatever the case might be, I'm gonna try to keep it at least under like 45, like each one 2 minutes or whatever the case may be. That's how I want to do it no mid months. But it's all sign. If you hear it, tell somebody like share, subscribe. For the weekly energy reading, this could be things that come up. You could already be going through it. It could already necessarily happen. It could be things that need to change. It could be different aspects. You can do whatever you need it to be. Okay? It could be whatever you need it to be. Alright, let's go. I get so sick and tired of this though. Because it's not like you hear me say being on the camera, but it'd be like, ooh, I really want to show y'all the cards. Or whatever case, because I don't like this angle. I really don't know. But you use what you got to get what you want. So let's go. Mm-hmm. Four Pentacles. Ooh, Four Pentacles. Who's got the power? Four Pentacles. Let's see what that's about, though. Because on the bottom of the deck, we got Knight of Swords. Over here, we got Hangman, and we got King of Cups, though. We got Justice and the King of Cups, though. So for some of y'all, I don't know if this got something to do with breaking free or leaving something behind, or this got something to do with a money type situation, but it feels like who's got the power? Because this King of Cups is reversed. So it could be some cold-heartedness or emotional manipulation, or it could be emotional manipulation or leaving something behind, though. That's why I said it's these type of ways from this. So it could be running towards this. All right, let's see. I will say that though. Woo! Knight of Swords and the Hangman. Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ. Think about you hear me say dealing with the Hangman energy because we got Five of Cups, Eight of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Moon. For some of y'all, I'll tell you about the Hangman. The Hangman is a position where it talks about things where, like, when you're contemplating, there's certain things that need to let go, but there's also repetitiveness when it comes into certain things or whatever the case may be. Because you got Six of Swords, though. It's like repetitiveness. So for some of y'all, I tell you the Hangman is tricky, though, because you see people who are caught up in positions, but they really don't be needing help. It be like a victim or whatever the case may be. Because I told you, like when you look at the hangman, it's a person who be sitting in a position and they know how they got there. Oh shit! What's it? Wheel of Fortune. I gotta get one more. I gotta get one more. And I said I'm gonna start doing saying the signs, but I'm gonna do it like I ain't gonna say it, but I'm not. I'm not. All right, okay. I said I needed one, but we got three that came out. I'm sticking back in the deck. Because we got Five of Pentacles reversed, the Star, and the Six of Pentacles. Some of y'all, though, this is just that Four of Pentacles. Some of y'all keep holding on to old things or old pain because Four of Pentacles, to me, it kind of talks about, like, the heart chakra, the sacral, the root, and the mind, like, being tethered to those places or whatever the case may be. Because a lot of people be trying to ascend to the 5D, and some people may be stuck in the 4D, where it's speaking about opening. Like being aware, that's like the 3D, what people talk about when we talk about the matrix, that's like the earthly realm of people who just dealing with the narratives of I used to do this, but I don't do this. I'm kind of more in tune. I'm aware of what I am. I know what it is that I choose and want. The fourth is to be able to go just a little bit higher and able to see above the 3D, like I'm above all this. So for some people that's trying to reach this pivotal peak in their spiritual journey, ideally though, for some of y'all, this is making peace with your past. This is the understanding of certain things. For some of y'all, it's like not being tethered there, but also allowing certain things to let go. Like this cup being in there, it's kind of like pouring into the pond, ideally though. But if you take this one off, it pours somewhere else though. So for some of y'all though, this could be the useless of certain things. Like you're finally recognizing, like, okay, let me pour into, let me. It's like I have a pond, I have this, I have the abundance, I understand the emotional overflow to be able to add this in without it being like a poisonous mixture. So I would say that though. So let me get one more for the overall. Let me get one more for the overall. I keep getting two, so let me just take that though. Six of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, though. I said that, though. Six of Pentacles, if we talk about money and legal obligations that's necessarily on the table or just necessarily separations, the Six of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. This is like backhanded apologies or this is like backhanded apologies. I'm sorry, but it's like coming with something because Six of Pentacles always please yourself. You're not necessarily giving. It's not a room for open and being able to receive. Because on the bottom of the deck, we got the Sun, we got the Ace of Pentacles reversed, we have the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups with the Seven of Swords. So that's why I said for some of y'all, though, this could be about the amount of work or necessarily you put into certain things. I tell you, Seven of Swords is not necessarily a good energy or whatever the case may be because it's like in the place of hurt. It's like it's hurt. It's like with the intent. So you got the Sun, the Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles, though. So that's why I said that apology, or if you're working on certain things for people, it comes with something like this. Is like, oh, okay. It's like gifts with strings attached. It's like, oh, but because you got the Sun and the King of, you got the Sun, the Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles reversed. It comes from a place of somebody else's emotional fulfillment, though, because the King of Pentacles ideally could be a person that could be stubborn or downright immature know how to deal with power. It's like a control thing or whatever the case may be. Like all things come to me. It's like blocking the abundance. So for some of y'all though, if this is like breaking out or leaving some relationship or something behind, somebody is like, hey, I really don't care. Like it's just energy because you got King of Cups. But for some of y'all, this could be somebody that's like, I'll tell you, it's like a lack of care or surety or whatever the case may be about something. It's like, I don't care because the Sun is here. It's being content and happy with the choices that is being made. Okay, first card out, we got the Knight of Swords. Bam, this ain't going to be a long one. And we got the Eight of Swords with the Queen of Cups reversed. But we also have the Two of Cups. That's why I said this got something to do with relationships or business or partnerships, though. I tell you, the Knight of Swords could be an energy of communicating, but it could be fast communication, though. And the Queen of Cups, this is like emotional exhaustion. This is like could be in a state of where it's like draining. It takes away, like you hear me say, it takes away from you or the commitment. I would say that if this got something to do with a friendship, relationship, or anything, it's like somebody's free. I would say that though, it's kind of like I'm free from this. So this is a communication though. So that's why I said some of y'all may be free from somebody's stronghold. And it's like somebody's coming in, and it's like You got the Two of Cups because I tell you the Queen of Cups can be a very, as we talk about the King of Cups, that's emotional manipulative. The Queen of Cups can. It's like a depressed, lethargic, not caring, the emotional capacity. It seeks what it needs necessarily. Because I saw you got the Hangman reversed, and that speaks of like being in a position where it's like probably needing some assistance at the same time. But I tell you, some people are in these positions where they like to play victim. Ten of Pentacles reversed, like in the conflict or whatever the case may be, whether that's money, situations, or whatever the case may be. I would say that though. As I say this all the time, people who suffer with mental illness can be the biggest manipulators or the mental manipulatees, so they can put themselves into mastering the emotion of I know how to get attention and a Six of Swords or whatever the case may be. And for some of y'all, this is the truth that's coming about a person or a situation because the Hangman is like getting caught up on minor things, but at the same time, you see somebody in a position, you kind of like, hey, let me help you down. They're like, no, and they choose to stay there though. So this is like the Ten of Pentacles, the conflict, the breaking, or whatever the case may be. Like if this got something to do with like if it got something to do with work related or like family type issues though. Because you got the Five of Cups. For some of y'all, this is repetitive issues. And you got Nine of Swords and the Four of Wands. So I said, and then you got the Wheel of Fortune though. So that's why I said it's like completing something and finishing something. Or for some of y'all, it's like trying to move forward. But I tell you, the Nine of Swords energy is like stress and trying to put people on the same page. For some of y'all, though, it's the way you go about certain things. Like, because if it's the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles can speak of like, overall family, like your environmental factors, where you were raised, ideally though, in the Four of Wands is kind of like marriage, commitment, relationship styles. Ideally, it's like going forward and like, okay, well, I have to leave this behind, putting your big girl, big boy panties on, or whatever the case may be, creating a new cycle. Because for some of y'all, it's kind of like it's in the narrative of saying that I have kids and I want things to change. I got this and I want this to change in my life. So for some of y'all, it's like, I don't have time for this. I'm good or whatever the case may be. So it's like moving forward. I would say that it's like a moving forward. But for some of y'all, though, it could be somebody, if you dealing if you're in a marriage or commitment or a business partnership, I would say no. If you're in a marriage, it's kind of like some outside drama that's going on outside the home that's affecting relationship. So if it's kind of like siblings or parents or whatever the case may be, this is where this apology comes in, where it's very backhanded. I would say that though, it's very backhanded and it's not genuine or sincere. For some of y'all, it's somebody who continuously likes to play the victim or whatever the case may be, and it's very somebody who likes to play the victim. I would say that though, it's like lack of accountability. Because you got Queen of Wands versus the Knight of Cups. I told you Queen of Wands and the Knight of Cups and the Three of Swords. One of y'all, this could be a person that is sick. I would say that they're just going through certain things or whatever the case may be. Because if it's family type dynamics, because I told y'all this came up in a reading a long time ago, where somebody was like dealing with some illnesses or whatever, and they were trying to get their family on the same page, whether it was coming to will, who gets what, da 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 da. But at the same time, it seemed like somebody has been taking advantage of this energy. Because I tell you, the Knight of Cups can be a very gossipy, two-faced drama. Oh, I want this, da 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 da. It's focused on itself. It doesn't necessarily worry about other people. So for some of y'all, in Three of Swords and the Magician, some of y'all trying to figure out how to heal from that, or you just now recognize that somebody is manipulative. It's a magician, could be a trickster at both hands, or it could just be bad energy or foul play, whatever the case may be. Because it could be if it's like sicknesses or we talk about generational curses, this is like the depth of certain things that keep going on, like in a family, like type social construct. So if it's like, oh, this person was depressed, and now this person's coming about, and they're like, oh, I've been on this, and I've been sneaking and taking this because this is what I'm going through. I struggle with this. Oh, you get what I'm saying? So it's like that energy, where it's like that's necessarily coming to light though. But I would say this Queen of Wands is like, ugh, I don't like it though. So it could be a feminine though. You got Nine of Pentacles though. And then you got Two of Swords, the Emperor with the with the Six of Cups. For some of y'all though, if it's not a female, if it's a masculine, ideally though, if it's dealing with situations or the control dynamic, it's kind of like somebody has two different interests. Because with the King of Pentacles, if you're trying to build necessarily a family, it's kind of like somebody's like, I don't want to. They're giving off this illusion though, whatever the case may be. Like, I want it, but they don't necessarily know how to put it into it because they're very wishy-washy, manipulative in those forms. I want my independence, but at the same time, I don't. Or whatever the case may be, because you got Two of Swords and the Six of Cups. So for some of y'all, this is like understanding this about a person or a father figure or a parent, ideally though, that was like, for some of y'all, this is the truth about a family member or whatever the case may be. It could be a masculine, ideally though, if it's a relationship though. It's the truth, or it could be some gossip or certain things come around. So let's say, for instance, if it's like suffering where a lot of women who have like father issues as well as masculine, it's kind of like a truth that's coming to the light about like the experiences you necessarily have with them, like the lack thereof, like how their presence or lack thereof affected, or the relationship dynamic that was with the mother parenting dynamic that affected you as a person. So now like trying to fix the relationship is not there. Some of y'all, this person, masculine or feminine, whoever this is, I would say feminine on this side, is a person who likes to reign dominance. It's a dominance. It's like a hierarchy over this. We got the Fool and the Two of Wands, though. See what that's about. We got King of Wands and the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, I said, yeah, this ain't no accountability, though. It's no accountability, I will say that, though. Sometimes it's like a business type project or a certain situation. It's like the Ten of Pentacles is like arguing over money. it's trying to figure out. So it's kind of like somebody wants to do this, but the other person wants to do this. But at the same time, if it's going forward, dealing with some type of contractual obligations, it's kind of like two people that's not necessarily on the same page. For some of y'all, though, I will say that though, the King of Wands versus the Queen of Wands, it could be a relationship suit, and you also have the Queen of Pentacles that's on the side. So it could be another person though. Some of y'all feel like this Queen of Wands person could be a very gossipy, or I don't know, it's kind of like a fling or a style or a person that keeps this person in this position to where, like, if you want to heal or fix something, you are not. Like, that's what I kind of feel like. It's keeping things at bay. And I tell you, this is where it is: the Six of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. If it got something to do with cheating or infidelity, it's kind of like some mask and saying, "Oh, okay, I did this. Let me buy you this gift and shut the fuck up." Like, that's how it's coming off though, from that point of. And one of y'all is just like, I don't know if I'm ready to necessarily just move forward, because you got the Empress where it speaks of doubts. Where you also don't know. So if you're going through relationship type spats and you're single and you're trying to date somebody, you're trying to find your footing. Some of y'all, it's the capacity of the unsureties that you're getting from this person as well. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Because the Empress is a place of doubt, insecurities. Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable laying my roots here. Is that energy? It's like, I don't know. Some of y'all, this could be a mother figure feeling this. So that's why I said it could be the mothering, the parent type aspects. So you got Ten of Pentacles reversed. So it's kind of like, I don't want to be like this person. I don't want to be like this. So it's kind of like that energy. It's like, I don't want to be, but at the same time, trying to figure something else out, like doing something different. Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles reversed, Five of Swords reversed, Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Two Scorpios energy, the Knight of Pentacles. We got the Five of Swords. And I think we got the King of Pentacles reversed. It's two different people. I'm telling you, like, if this got something to do with relationship, I need to know it's two different people on the same page. I would say that though, it's like the lack of accountability. Somebody feels cheated out of something or someone, ideally though, because if this got something to do with a marriage, I kind of feel like for some of y'all though, if this is a hand in marriage or trying to understand, like, why would you build or necessarily put yourself in those positions, for some of y'all, I feel like it's some masculine that's coming up and saying, hey, let's get married, let's do this. And some of y'all are kind of iffy about it, if it's like a second chance or a go at it. Some of y'all just you kind of don't know though, because you got this five of swords reverse energy, so you feel like you at a standstill. And then you have this two scorpionic energies with the Knight of Pentacles. So for some of y'all, y'all might got a child with this person though. So it could be a relationship where you have a child with a person, you're trying to start over and you're trying to be fulfilled and make decisions. But for some of y'all, it's kind of like some immaturity or something that's necessarily at play. Like, it's some indifferences. I will say that though. I will say that though. But if it got something to do with business or contractual obligation, if it's like a bidding necessarily, I really don't see it though. Like, it may be the lack of money. I would say that though. Or the promisings, or ideally though, somebody trying to sweet talk somebody for something ideally though, but then necessarily it's like, if you would, let's say for instance, if it was a business, it's kind of like, yo, let's do this, and somebody's trying to sweet talk somebody, somebody's like, you're full of shit, somebody's like, you're full of shit, and they both looking at each other like they're full of shit or whatever the case may be, because it's like not being on the same page. If it got something to do with relationship or marriage, I will say, if it's this person or mom or figure or whoever it is, it's like that person, how they deal with the emotional concept, they could be very one track minded and selfish and fulfilled with themselves. If it has something to do, you know what I'm saying, with overall a family dynamic, I tell you somebody is more on the hierarchy type state. They really are. But if one of y'all is kind of like this masculine trying to come back and X one of y'all hand for marriage and trying to start over and get another chance. So, but I kind of feel like there's some immaturity or some stubbornness or trying to move forward. I kind of feel like that though. I would say that though. So, girl, what is it there for you? Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Two of Pentacles. I think I'm gonna just do a career. Yeah, like that though. I think I'm gonna just do career or something like because that's been coming up a lot for a lot of people. I would say that. Oh, that's trifling. Okay, we got Eight of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Temperance. You got the Hermit, the Strength, and the Ten of Wands. For some of y'all though, in the middle where you hear me say, I say this is what you pour into relationships or people, ideally though, because it's trying to seek peace though. Like somebody's ready to necessarily make peace, but for some of y'all though, this is like the hermit energy where somebody hasn't gained or understand the clarity of wisdom though. So somebody's in isolation. It could be the ego. It could be the ego that has been attacked. Because you got Ten of Wands though. So for some of y'all are really drained, but it's like you keep going about certain things the same damn way. Because Ten of Wands is like an energy of reverse. It's kind of like not asking for help. If it's like a job necessarily that speaks of like crews, supervisors, people who necessarily feel like they can take advantage, not necessarily care, you will be underpaid, not necessarily valued in those positions. So it feels like everything you're doing, it feels like it's not good enough. If it's a marriage that also can equate the same thing, it's kind of like, oh, you're complaining. Oh, let me buy you these shoes. Let me buy you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let me buy, let me do this. If it got something to do with the friendship, ideally, though, it's like, oh no, but I'm going to give this apology. But I'm still going to do the same thing because it's the hangman there. Because you got an Eight of Cups, though. And for some of y'all, though, that's like returning back. Like somebody returns back with the energy of like a wounded dog. I would say that it's kind of like the wounded dog. Like, you know, it's your favorite dog or if you're an animal lover, somebody has that little whiny noise, and they do this though, because you have justice in reverse. For some of y'all, though, there's justice energy. It could be a karmic situation at play, but Page of Pentacles. It could be a karmic situation at play, or just necessarily dealing with financial or legal type matters. I would say that though, but it's the energy of a person that necessarily keep doing the same thing. So justice can be a card of where like the biasness, where I have here what it is that you necessarily want to say. So I feel the way I feel. No, you take this, you take this, you take this. So that's why the lovers is not upright. So it's kind of like somebody who doesn't really takes blame or accountability. You got Page of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Star, and the Six of Swords. I'm gonna get this to you. All right, okay. And we just move forward. I'm telling you, like that's the energy that somebody has. Okay, let's move forward. Let's let it go. I think this deck is shot. Oh yes. Trust your gut. That's all I gotta say is just trust your gut. Just trust your gut. Your gut can never steer you wrong. I would say that though. Your gut can never steer you wrong. Yeah, I think we do with this deck. That's why I say your gut can never steer you wrong or whatever the case may be. You really can't though. As I told you, you got the Chariot, the Five of Wands, and the Ten of Cups though. Check this out though, because I told you this is a family type card. There's overall happiness and there's also understanding. But look what's on the bottom of the deck. I mean, look what fell out, Seven of Swords. We didn't get to the bottom of the deck over here. And then you got the Capricorn energy, the devil. So for some of y'all, I tell you it's like a controlling type aspect, though. I would say that, though. It is a control. It is a power dynamic. So for some of y'all, though, if it's got somebody with some lover or agreement or binding or whatever that's long term, some of y'all, it's kind of like, I kind of don't want it. Like, if it comes to contractual obligations, kind of like, I really don't want to deal with that, though, because it comes with too much. It comes with too much though. Both sister signs are necessarily here, so it comes with too much. So for somebody, it's like the idea of family. So somebody family may have too much control in a relationship or dictating to where it doesn't have those say so. For some of y'all in generational curses, this could be the Seven of Swords energy where it talks about generational curses pending from rape, molestation, trauma, self-sabotaging, getting pregnant at an early age, like those aspects, the dynamic of relationships, like those. It's like breaking down these things. So for some of y'all, it's kind of like people continuously take from the devil, ideally though, and I'm not talking about the devil, but it's like people who are in a position to gift you instant things, and for some of y'all, this is your source. For some of y'all, this is y'all source where you continue to take from them and y'all go back and y'all keep trying to build with a state of control, though. That's why some of y'all always feel slighted. Because on the bottom of the day, we got Page of Wands reversed. So you're somebody who always like to talk about this. You got the World reversed. You got Eight of Wands, the Four of Cups, Seven of Cups, and the Three of Cups, the Ten of Cups. So for I said that though, for some of y'all, this is y'all Ten of Cups. Illusions and lies, or whatever the case may be. So if it's a relationship aspect for some of y'all though, it's like clearing it out. Because if you still want to make or fix or do, if it has something to do with like family or the relationship dynamic or marital type spat, it's like, let me just put all these cups down. Everything you said you was going to do, everything you did, let me get that out the way. All right, now I'm just at three. So what are we doing now? What are we doing now? Because you hear me say you got four cups. It's like regret. Like that's number 14. That's temperance and peace, where I talk about those cups. What you're pouring into, what eases you, what puts you in that space of, or whatever the case may be. So for some of y'all, if it's the style of loving, I will say that though, because you did get a lot of pentacles. Somebody may got a material type love language, which is okay. But then you also have the Empress upright with the Empress reversal that speaks of a masculine who's not in tune with his feminine energy when it comes into exuding his power and necessarily understanding them. So it's kind of like, oh no, I'm worried about this. I gotta make this money. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. It's unhappy. So it projects that narrative onto the relationship or whatever the case may be. If it's a feminine who doesn't know how to necessarily step back and allow the partner to assist in the Empress type energy though. So it's kind of like they have second, like it's kind of like this doubts of, can I, will I, am I capable of like emotionally understanding. So it's kind of like that. So where we at 26, and we're gonna try to wrap this up because we're gonna stop at 35, right? Four of Swords though. I tell you, Four of Swords to me, and this it speaks of the energy of hanging things over people's head though, because you seen how the swords hang over their head because you got Knight of Wands and everything is fine. You got Two of Cups. You got the Eight of Cups sitting over here. Let me keep that though, because I told y'all that like if y'all check out the Virgo monthly reading where I talk about a lot of y'all were doing work and you was almost getting to that door where the vault was, the Virgo energy, where a lot of y'all was getting to that door. I mean, because you got the Hermit, Eight of Pentacles again. You got the Eight of Wands. Because I tell you, a lot of y'all was getting to that door and then y'all was turning backwards. Like, oh no, I can go get so and so, so and so. I understand. I know the way. And then, like, you was getting there, you was like, I know the way. Like, that's how some of y'all was acting. Like, I know the way. And then you got there and you was like, holy shit. Nine of Pentacles, though. All right, I'll show y'all these. Five of Pentacles versus the Ace of Pentacles. But for some of y'all, though, because I saw you got Hierophant reverse. This is the High Priestess. This is the Page of Pentacles. And this is the Sun. And this is the Lovers. So I would say that though, for some of y'all though, when it comes to understanding, somebody has a very forceful style type nature. If it's marriage or if it's abundance or necessarily dealing with it, it's like somebody that's unhappy, but they love them. So that's why I said a lot of people. I seen this. I seen this a Leo reading. Like what was that like back in December? December. Um, it was December. I think it was in Leo reading December, but it's not on here though. But it was, I think, in Leo reading where it was talking about where it felt like it was going through some midlife crisis, where it wanted more necessarily out of life, and it felt like I'm saying like they were going through something, so it wasn't like they were happy with their partner or ideally the relationship, because the Hierophant is like it's like not the same style of marriages. Like Air Fun and Right, it's like you be husband and I be wife, and we do this. Like you get what I'm saying? Like the different styles, because you see people who want to go in marriage, ideally though they try to take on these concepts of well, you cook, I clean, you make the money, and that's not everybody marriage though. Everybody, some people marriage when it comes to relationships are people who ideally people who help you in a way that somebody else can't. So their weaknesses is your strengths, and your strengths are their weaknesses. So it's like the two balances each other out though. That's where it seemed like somebody was going through a midlife crisis, because if you listening to the old hits and people are saying, no, you're supposed to do this, and it's like, I understand that though, but what the fuck is about me? So that's why I said it was kind of like somebody was like, yeah, I love you, I understand, but you get what I'm saying? It was like that though. So it was like somebody that was going through something or needing something more. Last card there for the weekly read, I mean, overall card, you got Knight of Wands, you got Four of Cups and the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. I tell you I don't like that though, because the Knight of Wands and the Four of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, I tell you that's missing out on something. Could be communication styles though. And for some of y'all, this could be communication though. Five of Pentacles though. I told you with the Four of Cups energy is a person that's like to soak or be in an emotional type state. So they're always worried about their own emotions or the woe is me type people. So the Seven of Swords is kind of like being in that position to where the Seven of Pentacles, where I told you Seven of Swords, where like they're so busy focusing on getting taught that they don't take everything that's valuable. So this is like a card that is clear sign of self-sabotage, because I told you Knight of Wands is a very fast. So it's like somebody doesn't gather everything in one whop. It's kind of like a survivalist mode. Because over here you have everything is fine. And I tell you, when I see this card, it could be the communication styles. That's bad mouthing. That's like in a place of where somebody plays the martyr. That's like endings. That's truth. But you got Two of Swords, because that's 10 swords in them. So that's 8. They put you at an 8 of Swords position, a double victim or a martyr. Or that's like mental oppression or whatever. Because Two of Swords and a Hermit is like isolation. So for some of y'all, though, the Ace of Cups, if it's got something to do with a style of relationship. For some of y'all, you like retracting your love from that, ideally though, because this person kept saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and they never could. For some of y'all though, the person, ideally though, if you're dealing with this is a person that self-sabotages finally. And then they're like in the Ace of Cups position to where like they can't give you anything that they don't have. Because you also got Two of Cups, so it's got something to do with family. You're reaching out to a parent or trying to understand. You kind of like, why did you do this? Why are you not here? It's because they couldn't give you what they couldn't have. And that's the most selfish shit to say, right? Because you're like, no. I'm like, they couldn't give you what they couldn't have. You got Three of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, and this is the Five of Cups. So for some of y'all, if it's the energy, though, I will say that, though, with the Eight of Cups over here, put us back at the number 513, transformations, burning down old paradigms. Mercury energy, dugging up the past and all in other people's business. Anywho, but the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, for some of y'all, this is not paying attention. So for some of y'all, it's kind of like a partner that may be acting out or trying to partner up or do certain things with certain people. Ideally, though, like they're slowly becoming. So I'm not gonna say if this is a person that left you, like they coming back and they not changed. They doing the work. But I ain't saying they the person that you really need to be. It may just be okay. Get you to the point of the Eight of Cups. Because for some people, it's like, okay, well, let me try this again, and then they go try it again, and they necessarily see like, okay, whatever. It really didn't work. But you got what you needed to be able to move forward. So for some of y'all, this is like that though. So you may be in that relationship and say, oh shit, we finally got back together. Fuck, the shit just didn't work out. Blah, blah, blah. Boom. And now you're able to move fucking forward. For some of y'all, though, I kind of feel like this energy here with this Five of Pentacles, this is somebody that doesn't necessarily, it's not a great listener. Because Seven of Swords, I say that's a sabotaging energy. Some of y'all, that could be shameful secrets or just hurtful things that necessarily come in. So it's kind of like you could be over something. Somebody's like, oh yeah, come on, I'm gonna come back. And it's like that energy though. Because I tell you, Hermit is a wisdom card. That's why I said, let me go ahead and wrap this up. Let me go and put this out for you real quick. And I'm gonna see how I can do all the signs. So if you just heard a click up, the pausing in between back and forth though, it's just so I can keep it at a timely manner. I'm gonna give y'all a moon knowledge card or whatever the case may be, and see how that works for y'all with this situation though. Work through your fears. Mercury is in Scorpio. I keep telling people that though. So if it's like certain things that's coming to your front door, but it's also with Mercury and Scorpio where it talks about being necessarily obsessive, where it talks about being obsessive and worrying about the wrong things, though. Don't let your pride get in the way, though. You are very close to achieving a goal. Don't let your past hold you back. Ooh, meditate and contemplate, and your hard work is paying off. You got two moons as in Scorpio, and I told you Saturn was in Capricorn, or whatever the case may be, and I told you Capricorn, out of all the signs when it comes to Saturn, where it's like that reprimanding energy, Saturn is the type where, I mean, when it's in Capricorn, it's kind of like, okay, you did this, let me teach you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you got that parent and you in a room and you got a gun and they say, oh, you want to shoot? Let me show you how to shoot that motherfucker, and it scared the shit out of you. With it being in Mercury, I mean, in Scorpio, so it can seem very scary and occultic. But it's like, oh, you want to know? Let me show you. So it's kind of like that energy where it's like that's Saturn and Capricorn where it's trying to teach necessarily, where for some of y'all it's like, okay, you want to do it? Okay, let me show you how to do it. And then you're like, well, I don't want it. It's like, yeah, let me show you. It's like that energy. All right, okay, we're gonna read this. Don't let your past hold you back. The south node is like the north node. It is a karmic, but it is the opposite of the north node, and it relates to the past, perhaps even past lives. Whatever you are going through, or whatever you're asking about, there's a chance. Old age programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating or even toxic. It suggests that someone or even you needs to be released. That there is some kind of addiction going on or some unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing for sure is when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safer. I release the past. A relationship is karmic and has played out in many lifetimes. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. The south node is where the north node, it's where the south node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going south. On the horoscope chart, it shows us what we are likely to become obsessed with, but which will probably do us little or no good. The south node is the karmic of the astrological point that reminds of us of well-known phrase. If you always do what you always done, you'll always get what you always got. So that's why I said a lot of y'all know y'all ain't new to this, y'all true to this certain situations or whatever the case may be. So if you trying to call in something like I had posted on my Instagram at Fuck Your Anxiety, PHUCKYOANXIETY, it's there where I posted the reading for it was like a daily or whatever, because I had been forgetting to post them or whatever the case may be. So I posted it and I was like, I hope people at this time are not like doing manifestation work if they haven't been doing the work, because you will always feel like you leaving out something. And that's where karmic will necessarily come into play. And for some of y'all, I was like, it's necessarily letting go of certain things and like telling people, hey, it's okay. I don't need your advice. Because I put on there while I was talking about the relationship part. Well, I was like, if you're going through a relationship problem, I was like, the person that may be coming to you not giving you the advice, because it was like two different people in two different relationships. And it seems when it came to the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles, like both of y'all two was the same, but it was like how you manage and go about things. So if you're talking to somebody and necessarily, or people with a relationship spat where them and their partner are not necessarily supportive or understand the concept of why you feel in sync, you will always feel like you need to do this and you need to do this and you need to do this. So I don't know. A business, I don't know. I might do a career. I might do a career. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I could do a career. I don't know. But that's why I said I put that out. It's on my Instagram. Go check that out. I got some new blog posts. The link will be in the bio down here. In the description. And then that's all I got. I ain't got no more.